Hi, my name is Cara Andershock, Barbara Brennan School of Healing, class of 2012. Gilly Fernandez and I are interviewing graduates of Barbara Brennan School of Healing who are members of the Brennan Healing Science Association. And our purpose is to find out, how is Brennan Healing Science being utilized on a broader level? And today I have the pleasure of interviewing Janet Wepner. Janet graduated from Brennan in 2007, the BIW class of 2010, and completed her teacher training in 2011. Welcome, Janet.
Thank you, Cara.
So Janet, would you please share with us a little bit about what actually brought you to Barbara Brennan School of Healing, and then to share with us how you're utilizing the skills, the training, the techniques in your practice today or in your business today?
Yes. Back when I was 20 years old, I was dating a young man whom I'm now married to and is also a graduate of the school. And he was telling me about how he was longing to go to this school called Barbara Brennan School of Healing. And I didn't know what that was. So he graciously loaned me his book, Cans of Light, and I began reading it, and it felt like I was coming home. It felt like I was reading something for the first time, but that I also already knew. And every chapter I came through and went through, it felt like goosebumps and like just very synchronistic. And I just ate the whole thing up. I loved it. And I started to read Pieces of Light Emerging, and there was a workshop happening in Atlanta, Georgia. And I don't recall why I chose to do it with my future mother-in-law, but I did. And it went fine. And I loved the workshop, and it just made me even more hungry for the school. And I think it was a year after that, I started at the time I was a Montessori teacher, and I didn't know how I was going to get 5 weeks off during the school year. But I started talking with my director about it, and she loved the idea of the school and loved the idea of supporting me going through it. And so we just figured it out, and I think it was the following year I started. So that's what got me to the Barbara Brennan School of Healing.
That's great. I love that story.
Yeah. And then I'm using the skills for, I can't recall how many years at the moment. I had a private practice. Let's see, that was probably 8 or 9 years. And now I have a daughter who is 2 going on 3. And a lot of my time goes toward her. I'm a stay-at-home mom with her. And so I put all my skills into a practice. I put all my skills into negotiating and being in a relationship with my daughter. And I currently have 1 client. I would add more. I have people asking, but it's a little too much. But this 1 client is a BIP client. And I find myself using the psychodevelopmental skills. Can't remember if I'm saying that correctly, but the PD skills, I find myself using them the most through each day, through daily life.
Yeah. Well, can you share a little bit about how you're utilizing them? Sure.
It's really a tool for self-reflection and for feeling when I may need support, or when I may need to kind of pause. So if I'm feeling reactive, which is easy to do with a 2-year-old when you're with them all day, I can take time when I have space to myself and really feel into what my needs are under the reaction. So then I can have my needs be met. And so all of that is opposed to being in mask and pretending that nothing's wrong. It's opposed to being in an emotional reaction or in defense all the time. So instead of all of that, I can drop underneath and feel into my authentic needs, be able to have some self-care, and then be a better mom the next day.
That's great, Janet. Now, you and your husband have a healing center, right? A healing practice?
We had a healing center for almost 10 years, and we recently reshifted our picture. So we ran a wellness center where we had yoga classes, Pilates, Tai Chi, mini workshops, and then we had 2 session rooms in the back. And we owned the building and the property, and it fit for us for a long time. And then once I was home with my daughter, I couldn't manage the office like I used to, and we started hiring help, but we couldn't really keep it up the way that we wanted to, with just the amount of time and energy that goes into owning a business. So we just took that and shifted it and downsized. And so we've sold the building, and my husband and I have a space in a downtown office suite here in Hickory, North Carolina, and it's lovely. There's a fountain and everything. It's beautiful. And then I'm teaching yoga still. I'm teaching yoga at a local yoga studio. So we're still doing what we love and not having the extra additional stress of running the whole wellness center itself.
Yeah, well, that's great. So how can people find out more or about the work and, to get in touch with you to see when your schedule does open up that they might be able to connect with you?
Sure. My email address is janet.wepner@gmail.com, and our website is wepnerwellnesstherapy.com.
Great. Well, as you can see, there are many different ways to bring Brennan healing science into the world and into our life and into our family. And I really appreciate Janet taking the time to share with us how she's utilizing her skills and talents. So thank you so much, Janet.
Yeah, thank you, Cara.
All right, many blessings on your journey.
Thank you, you too.
Okay, bye-bye.